What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. Just me here, just Ben. I missed the Tuesday episode, so I wanted to catch up with you guys, get up with the latest NFL content here with you, and let you know what's going on. Talk to you about it, and I'll give you my reaction on what's transpired throughout this week here in the first week of May. So, first thing we're going to talk about here today, that is obviously going to be George Pickens has been traded off of the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm obviously a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, a pretty big one. So, my thought on this is good riddance. No hate on George. I think he's an amazing football player. I think he does spectacular catches. It's just the problem of what he does to the sidelines, what he does in the locker room, and his attitude. It's toxic, right? You see that spill over year. The Pittsburgh Steelers are very, very, very good at getting rid of wide receivers before they become so toxic that they destroy the next team. There's a whole list of them from Martavius Bryant the whole way up to Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool. You see what happened to them after they left the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't hope that upon George Pickens. I think he's going to have a great year with Dallas. They aren't signing his contract just yet. They're going to let this rookie contract play out and then maybe give him a deal at the end of the 2025 season. So I hope the best for him, but for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think it was the best move. I do think we kind of got ripped off, though. Honestly, getting a third-round pick and a late swap for a talent like George, I really think we could have got a second-round pick. This is the same compensation that we got for Antonio Brown, though, so it's really not that bad. It's not the worst possible thing. We didn't get completely fleeced, but it isn't the best. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers trading away George Pickens? Was this something that you agree with me that he was toxic and he needed to leave? Or do you think the Steelers have just put themselves back where they were? We have one wide receiver who can play football and everyone else is kind of a bum. Let me know. Next thing I want to talk about here. This is breaking news, just happened today, guys. Derek Carr has decided that after 11 seasons, he's retiring. He's done. Ended his career with 41,000 yards, over 200 touchdowns. He had 112 interceptions and a 92 passer rating. I mean, Derek Carr's better years were with the Oakland Raiders. Let's be completely honest. He wasn't really great on the Saints. Mediocre at best, I would say. Probably the best fill-in they could have gotten for Drew Brees after he retired. But he's decided to retire. Didn't like that they brought in Tyler Show. Maybe the shoulder injury is a little bit worse than we expected. But that makes it the Tyler Show and Spencer Rattler show down in New Orleans. So let me know, guys, what do you think about that? How do you think the Derek Carr thing transpired? Do you think it's because of his injury? Do you think it's because he was angry about the quarterback pick in the second round? Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. For me, I think it had to be the shoulder. He just realized, dude, I'm up there in age and I want to be able to have a life with my family and my kids. And just going to hang it up. But Saints fans, let me know how you feel about that because obviously, surprising news of the day. Other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Pittsburgh Steelers now, we just mentioned they don't have a wide receiver 2 now. Calvin Austin is basically the wide receiver 2. Bigger news is we still don't have a quarterback, so it doesn't really matter what wide receivers you really have at the moment. I guess we're going to go with maybe Rudolph, maybe the Ohio State kid, Will Howard. Doesn't look like the best options in my opinion, but we'll see what plays out. Maybe Will Howard can be Josh Allen. He has the same size as him. He's the exact same at the combine, weight and height-wise as Josh Allen. At Kansas State, he was a runner. Maybe he'll be a really good NFL quarterback. I am not sure. 6th-round pick doesn't really show it, but Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick, so can't really count it out too much, right? But on the wide receiver track, there is some rumors now that if we go the Aaron Rodgers route, that maybe Alan Lazard might be the next wide receiver coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers as Lazard follows Aaron Rodgers throughout his career. Um, One of the Pittsburgh Steelers made a comment about this last night that I thought was appropriate to bring up today on his podcast. Deshaun Elliott came out and was asked, "What do you think about Lazard coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers?" And he goes, "Nah, he is ass." So that just kind of tells you what other NFL players think about that ad. I don't think Lazard has much left in the tank. He didn't really show it with the Jets. His best days were with the Packers. So it's wishy washy in Pittsburgh. Maybe Amari Cooper is an option. He's pretty old as well. There's some other old guys lingering out there, but it's not looking too hot for the 2025 season for us. Other things I did want to cover with you guys today. I wanted to cover a couple of sleepers for any of you guys who may be drafting way too early. I know that there's somebody out there who, as soon as the NFL draft was done, was itching to get some fantasy in there and start taking their picks there. Maybe just your dynasty portion of that if you're in a dynasty league. But I know somebody out there is already setting up their draft for the middle of summer. So I wanted to sneak a couple picks in there for you guys early, let you know before training camp even starts who I would be targeting in the late rounds if I could. My first guy is going to be Christian Kirk. I think Christian Kirk might actually have a decent season with the Texans. CJ Stroud's going to come back, have a uh, jump out of his sophomore slump year is what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. They did add both Iowa State wide receivers in the draft. They obviously have Nico Collins. It's a little bit of a packed wide receiver room when you think about it, but he will be leading the veteranship there along with Nico. And I think that'll go really well for him. As long as that collarbone injury is completely recovered, Christian Kirk going to have a pretty good season. You could probably get him in like the 10th or 11th round. If you do three wide receivers in your league, I mean, I would throw him in there. He could be my option third if I'm flipping back before and forth between two guys, or maybe a flex fill week. Christian Kirk, put him on there. I know he's always like a 7 to 9 round guy. He's fallen a little bit. You might even be able to get him as late as 14. I would take a look at Christian Kirk. I think 2025 is going to be good to him. Next guy I want to talk about. This one kind of sticks out. This one is going to be for you dynasty guys. Anyone drafting in a dynasty league, picking up rookies here early in the spring or summer. Caleb Johnson, put him top of your list. Top of your list, Caleb Johnson. I think that if we are talking for a regular fantasy league, we could peg Caleb Johnson maybe somewhere in rounds 6 through 9. I think that would be an appropriate place for him to go. He is going to get a lot of touches on the Steelers. No quarterback. Jalen Warren's the only other guy. Jalen Warren cannot play three down back. You're going to see Caleb Johnson on the field a lot. Peg him in if you're doing a draft for a dynasty. Caleb Johnson is going to be one of your running backs of the future, at least the next 4 years. Put him on there. Do it. Call it a day. Next guy I want to talk about, Rico Dowdle. And you can rip me apart as much as you want about this, but I think Rico Dowdle actually has a great career. It's a 1 year deal, 1 year deal, but I think he's going to do great on the Carolina Panthers. Um, you look at what he did for the Dallas Cowboys in an offense that had no flair, no quarterback. He moves up to Carolina. He's not going to have to play every down. Hubbard is their every down back. He's going to come in probably like in a 60-40 role, I would imagine. That's where I'm seeing him at. I get Chuba off the field a little bit. That means Chuba can be even more powerful throughout the game because he has more energy. He's not playing every down. They were using people like Raheem Blackshear before. He was not a good fill back. Bring in Rico. I think this is a great ad. Look at Rico maybe rounds 14 through 16. This isn't a guy that you're going to be wanting to play every week, but he will be a good flex option. I would kind of put him up there as when Jalen Warren and Najee Harris were together. Jalen Warren still produced in fantasy numbers for you, even though Najee Harris got a ton of carries. So I would consider both of them pretty good. Rico may be more of a passing down guy. Look at PPR leagues. I definitely want you to take a look at adding him. Rico Dowdle, Carolina Panthers, sleeper pick for me. Last guy I wanted to talk about, And I don't really know if this is as much of a sleeper is it real is the name gives. But this is Justin Fields, guys. If you are in a double quarterback league or if you're playing in a QB superflex league, dude, do we not remember when Justin Fields was the starter on the Chicago Bears? Those 45, 47, 50 point weeks that he put up from just on his legs running for touchdowns and then getting passing touchdowns as well in yards. Let's take a look at that here coming up into 2025. I think that Justin Fields as your QB2 could win you the league. Or if he's your super flex, could win you the league. He's going to be one of the only guys there. We take a look at this offense, right? They got Mason Taylor they grabbed in the draft at tight end. Then you've got Garrett Wilson and you've got Brees Hall. What else is there, right? So Justin Fields, he's going to be playing all over the field. You're going to see him running a ton. I imagine averaging probably 22 points a week. Justin Fields, a big grab for you guys. Look for him in 2025, even though it's the Jets, to perform fantasy wise. I'm not saying that Jets fans he's going to take you to the Super Bowl, but fantasy people, he might take you to the fantasy bowl. Those are my sleeper picks for this week, guys. Any of you dynasty guys, remember, I want to pound this one in. Caleb Johnson, like number one. He should be the top guy going in your draft, I think, other than like Genty and maybe Trey Henderson. Those should be your top picks. Wide receivers should come afterwards. Tet McMillan's, Ibuka's, the quarterbacks. Number one picks should be those three running backs that I just mentioned. Nobody else. Nobody. Last thing I wanted to talk about here today in our short little show. I wanted to talk about some Bengals rookies that have been a little bit less of teammates than you would expect them to be off the jump. Both the first and second round picks. That's Demetrius Knight Jr. and Shamar Stewart for the Bengals have decided to show up to practice. Cool, good. Yeah, but they're not participating in practice. They're just sitting and watching. They will not participate in practice until they get their contract signed. I don't really know if I've ever heard of that happening before. It probably has. It just seems peculiar that you would do that. You just got drafted by a team who's going to give you a future and a career, and you're saying, give me the money before I show up. I don't get my money before I show up to work. I got to work first and then, get my paycheck on Friday. So I don't know. Just from a normal person's perspective, I think that's kind of whack. That's my opinion on it. Bengals fans, fire off. Let me know. Do you think I'm crazy? Am I being too much? I could be. Whatever. That's who I am. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for you today. Just wanted to pop in, let you know what was going on this week in the NFL. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about Derek Carr. Let me know what you think about the George Pickens trade. Are the Bengals fans sitting out? Or Bengals players sitting out? Is that a weird thing? Is it? Let me know. But yeah, that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope you have a blessed week. We'll see you Tuesday live, 7 p.m. Make sure you tune in into that. And until then, peace out.